Hello and welcome to this video. My name is David Thorne. In this video I'm going to be showing you how to make this beautiful navigation bar and also adding this background basically as well. So without any further ado, let's get started. So before we do anything, what we're going to have to do is unfortunately dump all the code here. So it just looks like this again. And let's go over to the index.html just to show you what we've got. And we have a div class here with container fluid. Inside that, another div, and we're just going to call it navbar. Inside that, we've then got another div here with a span, just encapsulating the videos and just saying David's videos inside a class that's brand, and then an unordered list with li elements, and then href is just a hash at the moment, with home, services, contact, and about. And then a div with class subscribe button, anchor tag with then subscribe. So it's super simple. If you just take a quick look at this, and if you want to copy along or follow along, then write all this out right now. Other than that, we'll just save time and just leave it as it be. So one thing that we want to do first of all is just say container fluid, and the reason why we're doing this is to basically say, hey, this is going to be one of the width 100%, and if you do want to change it in the future, at least you've got control about how far it's going to be and so on. So the next thing that we've got is a navbar. All right, and inside of this we want to say display flex, and the reason we want that is because we want the items. Let's just go back to the page. We want the items to be horizontally aligned. We want the David's videos to sit to the far left, subscribe to sit to the far right, and we want then the navigation bar, the unordered list, to sit directly in the middle at all times. So display flex is the appropriate one for this. Now we don't need to do flex direction row, but I'm going to put it in just for the sake of you knowing that it's by default flex direction row, and it stays exactly the same. The next thing we want to do is then space evenly, all right? And whoops, no, we want space between, sorry. And as you can see now, the David's video has been pushed all the way to the left and subscribe all the way to the right. And then the only thing that can be left in the middle is then the unordered list. So with that done, we can also say align items center, just so it center aligns everything as well. It makes it look a little bit nicer. So what we are going to do now is add a little bit of padding to the top. We're just going to say like 45 pixels, and then to the padding to the left we're going to say 8%, and then padding to the right we're going to say 8% as well. You can see it just pushes it in a little bit, and it adds a little bit of moves it a little bit away from the top as well. All right, so the next thing we want to do is we want to come to the brand. All right, and whoops, I want to come to the brand now, and we'll just say here brand, and we're going to say then font size is like 1.9. I thought 2 was too big, 1.9 was okay. And now inside of this brand we've got this span as well, and we're just going to make it color is equal to red. You know, it's not the nicest of colors, red, but it will do for the time being. All right, so now we have this done. And what I want to be able to do is have everything have 0 padding and 0 margin by default. And I want them to all have Roboto font family as well. So that's done now. But let's do this subscribe button first of all, because it seems a little bit more interesting. And this was then subscribe BTN. Let's just check I've spelled that correctly. Subscribe BTN. And we don't really need to do anything on the subscribe BTN wrapper, but the anchor tag itself is going to be display equals block, because we want to change the padding top and bottom. So we're going to change the padding top is 0.5, and then left and right is going to be then 1.6 ems. And we'll give it a background color of red once again, and then color of white. And we can see that works out all right. And maybe we want to give it a little bit more, actually. That looks good. Or let's say 1.2. I'm gonna actually say 35 pixels and 45 pixels. I think that might look a bit, well, maybe say 35 and 25, still a bit too big, say 25 and 15. There we go, that's all right. And now we want like border radius, say 10 pixels, or we can do 20 actually. 20 is looking good. Okay, so now let's just remove this text decoration from every single anchor tag. So text decoration is none, and we're going to say color to inherit to. All right, so if we add the color on the outer item, then we know what it's going to be. Okay, that's looking all right. Now we want to say text transform. We're going to say uppercase to our button. That's looking good. And I think we're just going to say 20 and 30 just to make it a little bit bigger. That's a little bit better. Okay, so now let's move on to our unordered list. So we've got nav bar, and we'll say UL. And in this, we're going to say list style type is none, just to remove that disk or the circle, whatever you want to be. And we're just going to say display flex, and that'll do enough for the time being, that it just moves everything in a row. So now we don't really need to do anything to the list item, but we are going to do it to the anchor tag once again. And in this sense, we're going to say display block. We don't care about the anything else. So and padding, we're going to say 0.4 ems and then 1.6 ems here. It's looking good. And then the font size is 1.5 ems maybe. That's all right. Let's put it down to say 1.3. That's a bit better. Okay, so now the trick is we want to have a nice hover effect on this, all right? And we can do this simply by changing the hover effect here, first of all. And let's just add our hover on the anchor tag. And we'll say color is equal to red. And when we do this, we get the red hover effect. But what we can do is we can just say transition is then say 0.4 seconds, and we get this nice look coming in. All right, and let's just change the font weight slightly to say 600, maybe 400. That's looking good. See, and now we get this nice effect, and we can see here that our yeah, we're getting there now. Okay, so now our button, we want it to pulsate. We want it to get bigger when we hover over it. So on our subscribe button A, we can just say on hover on this, and we can say transition is then transform, and transform, and then we'll say 0.4 seconds, and then we're going to say transform. And we're just going to say scale like 1.1, it'll do. And we'll come here, you see it just gets that little bit bigger. And we're going to add a little bit of font weight to the button as well. That's okay. Okay, so now we've got all these done. Right, we've got our hover effect on our buttons. And we've got this here on the brand on the left hand side. The final thing that we've got left to do now is the trickiest part, is to add this background. All right. So what we want to be able to do is say that the body is going to have the background image, but technically we don't want this because we want that the body can still scroll. So we accomplish this using the before, the pseudo element, all right? And inside of this, we want to first say that the body should be then position relative. And then this one is then going to be position absolute. And let's just quickly fill out these. And we'll say width is 100%, height is 100%, height is 100%. And then we want the background image. It's going to be a URL, and the image is inside the images directory, and it's called background.jpg. You can see it on the left hand side. And background repeat is no repeats. Background position is going to be it's going to be top and center actually, and then background size is going to be cover. And the final thing we need to do, which I'm going to leave it for the time being, is we also need to have a height on the body to say 100% view height. So now you can see that we have our image there, but we lose all of the text. It's because this image is now sat on top of the content of the body. So what we have to do is fix this by using the Z index of -1 on this, or at least anything less than 0 works fine. Okay, so now you can see it sits behind all of our navigation bar, which is lovely. We now need to change the color of our text inside of here. All right, so let's just come to change the color of the brand. We'll just say white, and now come and change the color of our URL anchors and say white too. Now we get a lot better looking, and so, as you can see, this is really simple to do. You know what I mean? It just looks so much more effective just having that background. And if you want to start putting you know, a content body with a little bit of opacity on it, then you can do this as well. So in this video tutorial, you've shown how quick and easy it is to make a navigation bar, a brand, position these items, add a nice background as well to it, and with a little bit of hover, transition and transform effects. So I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you've learned something from it. I learned a little bit whilst making this video as well. So if you do like this video, please really think about giving it a thumbs up. This doesn't just help me, but it helps other people to find these videos. This actually helps other people even more than it does me to find these videos. And if you've got any feedback or any comments or anything that you liked or disliked in these videos, any improvements, please think about putting them in the comment section down below. And if not, just, yeah, I hope you like this video. With that said, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Ciao, ciao, and goodbye.